Hey guys, welcome back to the CCC. We are making a drink today that upon some light searching online appears to be a name of about 4,000 different drinks. Am I wrong? Maybe not 4,000?
No, I guess it's like a classic name for the least classic cocktail ever.
That's actually a really good description because it's not super original given there's 1,000 of them or 4,000 of them. And
I mean, but the name is quite literally a literary classic, but it's used to describe everything, including my book.
Which, is this drink actually in there?
So funny that you ask. This Tequila Mockingbird book is Cocktails with a Literary Twist, which is interesting because unless you want to like sit in your chair and drink cocktails and read a book, I really don't see how they go together. But there is a Tequila Mockingbird in here, but it is 1.5 ounces tequila, 2 drops hot sauce, and a dill pickle.
So the good news for our audience is this drink does not include any hot sauce or dill pickle. Although the hot sauce I think I could actually live with. The dill pickle.
Hell no.
Although apparently pickle shots are a big deal right now too amongst the younger folk. Not on the CCC.
Not here.
Yes. So our drink is called the Tequila Mockingbird. My history with this particular name has nothing to do with the drink, but actually when we lived in Connecticut for a very short time in the 90s, this is before you were born, there was a Mexican restaurant there named Tequila Mockingbird. I always thought it was clever.
There's probably a Tequila Mockingbird in like every major.
No, this would happen to be in a nice little town in Connecticut called New Canaan, Connecticut. We actually, ironically, never ate there. We ate next door at the sushi restaurant.
Wow.
Whenever we ate the sushi restaurant, I would look next door and have a little chuckle. This is before I got into more imbibing and enjoying 4,000 different versions of the same drink.
I still think that this version will be better than whatever version was at Tequila Mockingbird's in Connecticut.
Oh, there's
anyway,
no doubt.
There's nothing about this version to not like because watermelon and tequila go together like peas and carrots. It's a beautiful drink. It's pretty. It's really just essentially a spicy watermelon margarita. It's delicious.
I thought you were going to say that tequila and watermelon go together like mezcal and anything.
Like me and mezcal?
Or like you and mezcal. There you go. Yeah, so pretty straightforward tequila and watermelon, although there is a little kick if you like a little heat in your drink. So we are muddling some jalapeno in there as well, but certainly optional.
Also optional would be to do this with mezcal.
Yeah, or with a reposado. We're doing a blanco. It's a little cleaner, crisper, but we want a little more depth to it. So I find in general though, when you get to like when you're mixing fruits and like summery kind of refreshing drinks, I find blanco sort of the safe way to go.
Well, there's a few reasons I think. One is obviously color. If you introduce a reposado, that yellow is going to mess with the pretty color of your watermelon and turn it less pink and more like bark. But also, when you've got so many other flavors going on, you've got a lime and you've got the watermelon, and watermelon's delicate. I mean, if you overpower watermelon, you know, you don't need it. You don't need it to overpower the watermelon.
Okay.
I think this is not the place for your heavy hitters. I actually think this is a place for a lighter Blanco tequila.
Well, let's try it with Espolon. By the way, this is not a plug for any one particular brand, but I will say this is sort of our go-to kind of house tequila that we feel is priced right. It's got a nice profile. I wouldn't say it's a sipping tequila, but it's certainly not one that's going to be like, it's not going to burn going down like some of the cheap Jose Cuervos of the world.
It's good. I mean, it's solid.
Let's make it. All right.
Obviously, the smaller you start with your watermelon cubes, the easier this will be, but watermelon sort of disintegrates pretty quickly, so I don't think it's a big deal.
Yeah, and in fact, this recipe doesn't even call it to juice the watermelon because effectively when you muddle it, it's going to break down pretty easy.
Yeah. So,
yeah, 3 to 4 cubes of watermelon. I'm also throwing a jalapeno slice in mine, kind of all in one shot.
That's smart. I don't have a jalapeno on me right now. I'm uncertain how that's possible, but it is. I don't have a jalapeno. So since I'm a little bit stuck, what I do have, and I literally have this on hand because somehow this seems to happen to me often enough, where I don't have a jalapeno and I need something to stand in. So I picked up some of this Firewater Tincture. It's actually habanero, not jalapeno. So I know there will be a slight difference in flavor, but
It's the same concept, though. I mean, you're going for a little heat.
But tincture sounds, I think, a lot more fancy than it is, because really all it is a very, very, very concentrated version of a neutral spirit, like Everclear. Like everyone's like making their own tinctures these days. It's just like Everclear and peppers, and they also threw in some organic herbs and spices.
Yeah, it's sort of like making a simple syrup. You're just starting with a neutral spirit, and you're cooking down and reducing it down to, in this case, habanero.
Yeah, so it is easy to make, and if I had done it myself, I wouldn't have been charged the hefty $18 price tag, which I think is a little aggressive, but this will last forever. And I'm planning on using, I don't know, what do you like, 2 drops of this?
I was thinking 2 or 3 drops, yeah.
Like not dashes, drops. I tasted it just to try it, and it was
Packed a punch.
a little bit goes a long way.
So I think it's actually good though that you're doing without jalapeno, because I don't always have jalapenos as well. So having a tincture, I happen to have a Hellfire shrub, which is the same concept, but it's done with a shrub versus a tincture, so it's got more of a vinegar base. But yes, it's the beauty of having these little. It's like having seasoning salts and different seasonings in your kitchen. If you have these in your bar and you're running short on something one day, then you've got another option. Okay, your muddle.
Muddle it.
And as we've said before, whenever you're muddling something with pepper in it, just be careful not to get too close, because, well, even in your case, it could splash. Okay, and then what, 2 ounces of tequila, 3/4 lime, always fresh, and 3/4 agave nectar, although I am cheating on mine, guys. I am out of agave, imagine that, and I am using, it's gonna change it a bit, but I'm okay with this. I'm using a 2-to-1 simple syrup. It's a cinnamon simple syrup. So it's definitely closer in color to an agave than a regular simple syrup, but it also is going to add some cinnamon, which I think can be good. This is I've said it before, this is my new go-to, like I always have it in my fridge.
Yeah, but cinnamon,
We'll see.
that's how I feel about cinnamon with watermelon and jalapeno.
But you can't have any of mine then.
Let me know how that goes.
Let you know.
Shake in with ice. Looks like so beautiful. And then for a garnish, you can get really creative with your watermelon.
Yeah, I can't compete. Although mine's not bad. Took the top of the pepper, the watermelon.
I think my watermelon flower is very pretty. That is cute. I like him. Well,
I'm tasting the cinnamon, which I don't think is a bad thing in this case. It's good. It's very refreshing. I would go against both of our thoughts, sort of conventional wisdom here, to go with a clear Blanco. I'm actually thinking, for those of you out there that want something a little more to it, I actually think this may be good, obviously a mezcal, but maybe with a Reposado, because it's pretty light. It's pretty thin. It's delicious. This is a good.
that. Send us a picture.
So either way, enjoy.
Looks good. We'll go back to the classics for Thursday.
Yeah. See you guys Thursday.
Okay.
Cheers, Rice.
Here's Jason.